You know, it wouldn't be the first time somebody's asked me, how do I become a pilot in the Air Force or a pilot in the United States Navy, right? How do I become a fighter pilot, right? I get these questions a lot. I spent 20 years active duty as an officer in the United States Navy, and began my career as a naval flight officer, which is like a navigator, bombardier type, and then I transitioned to pilot, and I was fortunate enough to become a fighter pilot, flew F-18s, got to be an adversary, got to do some cool stuff. You know, I got to be the bad guy, right, and fly against the good guys and train the good guys, and that was really amazing. It was awesome. And so I get asked the question a lot, you know, how do you become a pilot? How do you become a fighter pilot, or even just any kind of pilot in the service, whether it's Air Force or Navy or any of the above? And it begins, with the exception of Army warrant officers, it begins with going to college, okay? You're going to have that degree if you want to be a pilot. Your college degree now is what allows you to enter the service as an officer, and only officers are going to become pilots. So you're going to have to get a commission one of three ways. You're either going to have to go to regular college, just like anybody else, and when you get out, contact the recruiting office and plan to go to officer candidate school. Or you can go to college and join the ROTC program. So you'll need to contact the officer recruiting division or an officer recruiting office before you go to college, before you start college, so you can find out what you need to do to get involved in the ROTC program. And then lastly, you can go to one of the academies, and that's a much tougher road to hoe, but the rewards on the backside are very great, because then school is paid for, your education is top-notch, and you're going to be commissioned as an officer in that branch of service, or in whatever branch of service you choose, actually, coming out the backside of that academy. So it's very, very powerful to go to the academy, but it's a much more difficult thing to attain. I will tell you, whatever route you go, the degree is the same coming out the backside, right? A sheepskin is a sheepskin, no matter where you get it from. And a commission is a commission, whether you get it from the academy or whether you get it from OCS or whether you get it from ROTC. And once you're commissioned, then you can now work on becoming a pilot. One of the things that I did was I actually negotiated my flying contract with the United States Navy in advance, so that if I wasn't guaranteed a flying contract, I didn't actually have to join, because it was more important for me to become a pilot than it was to just be in the service. So maybe that's something you want to consider when you're talking to the recruiting office. I've since transitioned from flying for the United States Navy, and I now enjoy a time freedom and a money freedom I've never experienced before as I transitioned into the civilian world, into business. You can learn a little bit more about what I'm doing now by clicking the link below. It'll take you to workingwithbrian.com. And I'll show you the blueprint that I used in 2013 to transition from my military life to my civilian life, or at least to begin the transition. And it's been wonderful. It's been absolutely magical. I will tell you this, that being a military pilot isn't for everybody. It may not necessarily be for you. You may want to explore other options before you set yourself down that path. It's very, very demanding. You're going to spend a lot of time away from home and a lot of time away from family, so you want to consider those things, right? But if you've weighed the options and you're fired up about it, I would never discourage anyone from it. It's been an absolute, just unbelievable, incredible thing I've been able to do in my life. But I'm also very excited about what I'm doing now. So hopefully that helps you in your quest to become a pilot in the Air Force, and that little bit of information will start you on the right path.